Some things are hard to forget, or are some things easy to remember, seared into the memory in a blood-soaked gore-fest, burrowing into your nightmares like a parasite, exploding in your dreams, tearing your reality to shreds like a zombie shark on acid, flipping your world upside down, bringing the boogeyman to life. Will you ever be able to look at yourself in the mirror again? When you close your eyes at night, will you sleep? Or will the nightmares, the memories, keep you awake? I have one such memory, and it happened at Bedford prison. Let's get it on. It started as a beautiful day. The sun was out and the sky was blue. If you was on the outside, it would be beer garden weather. But this was prison, so suffocating in a boiling hot cell was about as good as it got. There was a Romanian on the wing, and to cut a long story short, he was getting bullied. Some people say it was his own fault, but anyone with a heart can see that he was being extorted. It all started with the ticking of burn, borrowing tobacco with the accepted knowledge that double the amount will be paid the following week, hence the term double bubble. The Romanian was a junkie, a spice head, addicted to the zombie drug known as spice, and believe me, you will do and say almost anything to get that elusive next fix. Anyway, he ticked the burn and was unable to pay the following week, so the amount was doubled. Some people say that was fair enough. If you borrow, you pay back. If you don't pay back, it's doubled. But there comes a point when anyone can see that ticking it and doubling it every single week, doubling it and doubling it and doubling it, becomes pointless because he can't pay. So an alternative method needs to be thought up. An alternative approach, a payment plan, a slap, and a gentle reminder that nobody likes a liar and a spice head. Debt cancelled, move on. In this case, that didn't happen. Like I said, the amount kept getting doubled each week until that tiny little minuscule amount was now a behemoth, probably in the hundreds of pounds. What started off as a tenner was now in the hundreds of pounds. Every week the Romanian was having his entire canteen taken, as well as anything else that the lender could get his hands on. The Romanian didn't speak any English, and his fellow countrymen on the wing were not much better and were unable to offer any help or any meaningful support. After weeks of extortion, the Romanian committed the ultimate sin. He told the screws what was happening. Actually, one of his friends did, as he didn't talk English. After that, you're probably thinking that the bullying stopped. There's no way that the prison staff were informed of what was going on and that the incessant bullying was allowed to happen. Well, remember at the beginning when I said this was a traumatic memory? The bullying kept on rolling. The daylight robbery kept getting more brazen. It continued, it escalated until one day the Romanian was walking around the wing in just his socks because his trainers were taken along with his canteen. This was the last straw for this European wanderer. Like I said at the beginning, the sun was hot on this day. The rays penetrated deep into the cell, warming the skin of the Romanian inmate as he prepared for his final chapter. Some people do things for effect. Others, in this case the Romanian, are serious. They reached the end of the line and there is only one way to go from there. He took the B from the prison shaver. He cut a line from his bed sheets and made a loop with it, securing one end of that sheet to the bars on his window. He removed his trousers, folded them up and put them over his chair, then took the loop of the sheet and put it over his head, then stood on the pipes just above the floor under the window as he did. The sun was beating down on this kid for the last time, warming his blood. Like I said, one final time. He used a bee from the shaver on the artery on his groin, on the inside of his leg. He also used it on his jugular before he limped forward, letting the loop tighten around his throat and let nature take his course. He was dead when the screw opened his cell door for morning association. It was similar to the scene in Silence of the Lambs when Hannibal the Lecter guts and strings up one of his guards before he makes his famous escape. Think of the puddle of blood that greeted the screw as he opened the big cell door. Anyway, I was already on the landing and it soon became apparent that there was a problem because we all got slung out onto the exercise yard. The screws must have cut the Romanian down and tried to save his life until the air ambulance arrived. After a few hours, and it was a few hours, he was wheeled out on a stretcher covered in a red sheet, probably to hide his bloodless corpse. Anyway, that was just another day behind the door. Sweet dreams.